Hi y'all, I'm Chase, and this is my Harley-Davidson 2021 Pan America Special, affectionately known as Wichita. And today we are going to talk about adventure bikes and what would be the perfect adventure bike. And honestly, sorry, this ain't it. I know that might hurt someone's feelings, but, well, that's just the truth of it. As good as the Pan America is, it's not great. It's heavy. It weighs 559 pounds. That's before you add any bags or anything, I think. So you're talking about, it weighs as much as a Sportster. A Sportster is not a light bike. So there's one ding right there. Also, it's got a decent suspension, tall, and the suspension is great, but how tall do you really want it? I mean, might need a little bit of height. It's not exactly tall enough, I'd say. I mean, if you're going to go off-road, and I mean truly off-road, you might want a little more height. Also, it does not come outfitted with a serious skid plate, bash plate, whatever you want to call it. The one that comes on it is mediocre at best. So, yeah, there's that too. I mean, all the ride modes and stuff are great, but it's also got way more power than it needs to have. And honestly, that includes a lot of other larger bikes. I mean, that Honda Africa Twin, I mean, that's got like 100 horsepower off-road is not something that you need. We're going to take the back way. Really, I'm sure there are other things, but I mean, those are most of the main gripes that people have. Otherwise, it's not a bad bike at all. I think it's great. Honestly, I love it. If you live in a place like I do, out here in the boonies, I think it's great. This is the perfect bike for where I live. Now, would I take it off some really hardcore roads or onto some really hardcore roads? No, not a chance. I'm not sure I have the stamina for that, and I've got a bad back and a bad neck, and it just sounds like something dangerous. But if you're trying to navigate a somewhat slippery, crappy, I don't know, gravel road, yeah, I think this is a great bike. Maybe some slight fire roads or whatever you want to call them, whatever they call them in Britain. Really, their fire roads look a lot like my main road to my house, so take with that what you will. In the Twisties, as we're doing right now, I made a video a while ago about just going to the Twisties, and man, this thing is superb. Superb going through the Twisties. So, now, what kind of bike would I like? Ooh, those are some big birds. Yeah, that's the one thing I like about living out here. You get to see stuff like that. Huge birds. Even though those are just vultures. But still, I mean, we get hawks and stuff running too. But anyways, what would the perfect bike be? Light. Lightweight. So what does that entail? Well, more horse crap. That probably means a smaller motor, which will also change how much horsepower and torque you have, which actually isn't a bad thing. You don't need a monster ton of torque. And to be truthful, getting very close is the Aprilia Touareg 660. Now, there is one problem with that Touareg, and that problem is it needs to be serviced. The valves need to be serviced very, very often, 12,000 miles apparently. And going to a dealer and having them serviced is going to run you somewhere between $1,000 and $2,000. So every 3 oil changes, and I know, oh, you don't have to change the oil, modern oil. I don't care. I don't give it. I just don't care. I'm going to change oil every 3 grand. just for my own peace of mind, because I don't trust anybody. Well, I have to trust them to a point because I'm using their oil, but I'm not going to trust them as far as they say. Click down for the carousel here. I'm always glad to see that the other people stayed on their side of the road, because that is not always the case. And really, you know, lightweight, smaller engine, all these things are, I don't know, I think it'll improve your confidence. But that, you know, that Aprilia, if it was that Touareg, if it didn't have valve adjustment intervals like, Wichita here, yeah, that's the one thing the Pan America has on everyone. They're the only ones you don't have to go and do valve adjustments on. How about that? You just change the damn oil. So, yeah, that is a winner. That means it's going to save me, I don't know, the life of the bike, thousands upon thousands of dollars. So, but there is something that old Wichita has here that a smaller bike doesn't have, save that Touareg 660. And that Touareg 660 is, this was why I almost, I considered trading my Road King in for one, if it wasn't for those valve intervals, those valve adjustment intervals. There was one reason why I really had considered it, the Touareg 660 that is, and that it comes with cruise control. See? Oh, yes. But I don't know of another middleweight adventure bike that comes with cruise control, except for the Touareg, which is kind of crappy. In fact, I don't know of any small adventure bikes that come with cruise control. If somebody comes out with, I don't know, Aprilia has just recently talked about they're going to release a RS457, so a 457 parallel twin sport bike. Now, imagine if they put something like that into a smaller little Touareg. In a Touareg, you're talking about less weight, and they add cruise control to it. That may be the perfect ADV. It's lightweight, you can go off-road, you can tour on it, I mean, throw some hard bags on it. It may not be for, I don't know, like Wichita here, where I can throw a girl on the back, or I can load this puppy down with enough weight to choke a mule. But, yeah, it's, I'd say it would be a great bike if you're an individual. If you are not going to take anyone on rides, if you are going to, I don't know, go at it alone, that would be a perfect bike. Unfortunately, I don't know if there's going to be valve adjustment intervals on that 457. If really, seriously, that is a big selling point. I know most people go in and buy a bike. Yes, this place is beautiful. Anyways, that is a big selling point to a lot of people, but a lot of people don't go, geez, maybe I shouldn't buy this bike because I'm going to have to do valve adjustments every, or at least valve checks every 12,000 miles, or the engine might grenade on me. Yeah. That was a big problem with Ducatis. Now, Ducati has like a 38,000 mile interval, I think, or 38,000 kilometer. I don't know which one it is, but that's pretty good comparatively to some of the others. Like I said, I think the Aprilia Touareg is like every 12,000 miles. That is very often. So, but with cruise control on a 457 cc bike, that would decimate all, at least in sales. I mean, it's not going to be fast. I mean, it'll be faster than most cars, but it's not going to be something that's stupid fast. But as far as sales, now that would make a difference. In sales, that would be a big seller. There's a lot of guys out there looking to buy something they can tour on, something they can go off-road on, something they can, I don't know, a do everything bike. And a little 400 that doesn't weigh a lot, that gets really stupid good fuel economy. I mean, we're talking probably 60, 70 miles to the gallon. You can throw some bags on it, some hard cases, and go everywhere and throw the cruise control on a highway and be perfectly comfortable, give your hands a rest, and that you could also go off-road. And if you do drop it, it's, well, it's easy to pick up too. That would be a big seller. And I know why manufacturers aren't making it. And here's why. Would you buy if you didn't have to, if you could get cruise control on a bike that gets that kind of fuel economy and is just as capable, if not more, than, say, Wichita here, that is also comfortable, that you can take on a trip, would you buy the bigger bike? Now, granted, there are speed junkies, and I may not be a speed junkie, but I am a speed appreciator. You know, some people have that horsepower monkey that's biting them on the shoulder and saying, yeah, twist that wrist a little bit more. I get that every once in a while, but, you know, a very capable bike with low weight that you can tour on, that can do off-road, man, that's something you would be very hard-pressed to beat. Now, I know that Aprilia is coming out with that RS 457, and Royal Enfield is coming out with a 450 Himalayan. It's liquid cooled. If they put cruise control on that bike, and if you're going to have traction control, which it seems like it might, it would be very easy to put cruise control on it. If they do that, they will have a world-beating bike. 6-speed transmission, off-road capability, lighter weight. I mean, we're talking probably a 400 to 450 pound bike. I mean, it's going to be all steel because it's a Royal Enfield. But if they do those things, they're gonna give some people a run for their money. I mean, honestly, they have a great warranty. Their, you know, fit, finish, quality has improved immensely over the years. They're going to be hard pressed to beat that bike. You know, cruise control. Everybody has some big deal. Oh man, oh, TFT screens. Ooh, ooh. A lot of guys just don't care about that, and it's just something else that can break. So the old LCD screen, but you get cruise control. I mean, hell, how many guys ride Harleys that, you know, they bought because it has cruise control, but it doesn't have an LCD screen? I mean, that guy, I know for a fact, that bike does not have LCDs on it. Bike just passed me. In fact, you know, a lot of, you know, like, Heritage Classics. Oh, hell, the new, what is it, that, Lowrider ST. It has an LCD screen on it. Guys go out touring on those bikes. They don't care that it doesn't have a TFT. So, I don't know, I guess this is maybe just a rant, or I don't know what you just ideas on, man, if, and the way things are moving, fuel economy seems to be a very big deal. Now, the other day, I got 49 miles to the gallon out of Wichita here. It's only supposed to get 46. That is superb. Granted, I didn't do any full wrist kind of activities, but, you know, I did have a little bit of fun. But 49 miles to the gallon is very, very good. Now, imagine if I could get 70, which is very possible. So, it's just another thing that you have to kind of, I don't know, factor in for in the future. I see smaller displacement bikes really taking off. Not just because of capability and lightweight, but because, you know, fuel economy is, the price of gas has just kept going up, and it seems to be that way in at least in most European countries. And man, you know, over in Europe, sorry guys, I know it's, you guys pay by the liter, and you guys pay more than we do here in the States. So I know how much you guys would love a smaller ADV style bike with touring capabilities, cruise control and all that. I know some of you are geeks and you want the TFT screens and all that, but really a lot of you would just say, who cares? So I guess that's it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I read every single comment. I will answer questions if I can. In fact, I usually try. I could be wrong though, so you never know. Like and subscribe, flick that ding link to be notified of any new videos I'm coming out with. All that stuff helps with the YouTube algorithm. Thank you for watching, lads and lasses. Stay stubborn. Get out there and ride. Learn. Bye, y'all.